All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the BiggDro Show. I'm your host, Brian Drolet. Thanks for watching and following so far. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, leave a comment, let me know what you're thinking, and let's jump in to this first topic. Jussie Smollett. Jussie Smollett. And I'm not saying this because he's an awful human being. I'm saying this just because it's an ugly name. Jussie Smollett. Sounds like two words being pronounced incorrectly. That's his whole name is just... Why is his name Jussie? Was his father really wanting to call him Justin? Mom's like, I really want to call him Jesse. They're like, well, I really want Justin and I want Jesse. And then the doctor's like, look, I tell you what you guys should do. You should combine both of those. And they're like, thank you, doctor. And the doctor's like, that'll be $50,000. I hope you have insurance. But yeah, just this is a terrible name, you know, his whole life. Like, name, please. He's like, Jussie. They're like, Jesse. He's like, no, it's Jussie. The person's like, Jussie? Sure. Got it. I'll write that. He's like, yeah, with a U. My dad wanted to call me Justin. My mom wanted Jesse. They compromised with Jussie. So what if dad wanted to call him Rick and mom wanted to call him Dustin? I think Dick would have been a better name, to be honest with you. But Jussie Smollett, and I'm glad it's Smollett and not Smollett. He's got the two T's. I don't want anything to do with this guy, okay? Smollett, he's not worthy of an L.A. But it's hilarious, too. Black Lives Matter. They're like, we still support this strong black man. It's like, guys, look, I support the Black Lives Matter movement. And look, I'm all for Kaepernick or any football player kneeling. I think if you're white and you don't think the black community gets treated way worse by police, I think you're just living in a cave somewhere, probably in Whiteville. But if you haven't talked to any of your friends, colleague, what have you, that are not white, and talk to them. And yeah, there's going to be black people that are like, I've never experienced racism. Okay, well, we're happy for you. But there's a lot of people in the black community that feel differently, and they feel like they're always profiled or stereotyped and treated unfairly. And there's tons of videos that have come out. So look, I am all for Black Lives Matter movement, okay? But that doesn't mean just everybody who's black you support. Jussie Smollett is an idiot who's been found guilty, and they're like, no, we can never trust the police. It's like, come on. And then the whole, defund, get rid of the police. Come on. Hey, come on. Say that when you get mugged at 3 a.m. in the morning. I mean, like, who are you going to call in that situation? You're going to call somebody like me, a relative who's 6'6". Nothing worse than dating a girl who starts trouble with people and like, my boyfriend will kick your ass. Like, be quiet, Sheila. Be quiet, Sheila. There's 7 of them. There's 1 of me. My boyfriend will kick your ass. Hey, no, I won't. Call the police. We need the police. I'm all for, making the police better, making them more educated. Okay, I'm not saying the police don't need, to do their job better, especially a lot of them. This is what I hate about politics and people that, they consider themselves on the right or on the left, and then anything that comes their way, they're just going with the right or the left. You have to look at everything on a case-by-case basis, okay? Like those 3 Georgia guys that shot and killed Ahmaud Arbery, let them rot in prison. What the hell are you chasing a guy with a gun, cornering him and shooting him for? Even if he was robbing you, you still don't do that. Even if he had your piano above his I mean, he's a strong guy, I'm assuming. But if he had your TV, whatever it was, if somebody's robbing you, you don't just kill them for your television, okay? You call the police that hopefully have now been reformed and improved, not defunded, but educated and improved. I mean, it's got to be hard to be a police officer. It's got to be the hardest job ever. Our instinct, anytime you see trouble, is to get the hell away from the trouble. Police have to, go right at that trouble. What's that? Somebody's murdering somebody on 34th and 5th? I'll be right there. So I empathize with police. I empathize with black people that don't like the police because you've been treated unfairly. You feel like they're out to get you, and I get that. So look, I don't consider myself on the right or the left. It's just a case by case basis. And I'm sorry, Black Lives Matter, but Jussie Smollett, aside from having an awful name, did an awful thing. I mean, he literally tried to create a race war when we've already got enough real live events that can cause those things to worry about. And it's just so stupid. He was on a television show, a hit TV show. Just goes to show you how dangerous success in Hollywood and money and fame, all these things can be, because this guy was already on a TV show and he's like, I got to do something else to stand out, man. And he hired two big black guys to be the people in this hate crimes shouting MAGA. Like, what? What? I mean, dude, what are you doing? Jussie? What are you doing, Jussie? Jussie, if you could have just not faked a hate crime, maybe you wouldn't be a laughingstock. But hey, Black Lives Matter. They're behind you, Jussie. But I don't know. Jussie Smollett. It's so cheesy that they're like, we support him no matter what. It's like, that's just bad PR for Black Lives Matter, right? I'm sorry. Let's read. Jussie said he was the victim of a racist and homophobic attack. It was really racist when those two huge black guys beat me up. Two guys darker than him. So racist of them. That's the other, like, fucked up thing. Like, I know in, the black community, like, darker skinned you are, the more made fun of you are, and, like, the lighter skinned you are, the better that is. It's like, even in the black community, where nobody should have more empathy than one black person to another black person, because they know what it's like to be discriminated. But even in that community, they're like, man, look how dark you are, Fred. It's just ridiculous to me. And then you have white people that just want to go in the sun and get darker. They want to be tan. Black people want to be lighter. White people want to be darker. We all just want to be Latino, okay? The Mexicans, they've got it the best. Everybody just wants to look Mexican. And I feel like Latinos are just fine with looking the way they look. They don't want to look lighter. They don't want to look darker. They're like, yo, Latino. Okay, so this is the Black Lives Matter people's, this is their statement. So let's be clear. I can just hear them reading it. Anything that starts with, so let's be clear, it's like, I don't even want to hear what you're going to say. It's like when people start something with look. So let's be clear. Can I be honest? I need to talk to you. All those ways of starting anything is annoying. Can we talk? No, we can't, okay? Let me be clear. Look, no, we can't talk. So let's be clear. We love everybody in our community, even rapists and murderers, if they're black. I added that second part. We can never believe police. Never believe them, even when they're black. I know this can be confusing, but if a black police officer says something, don't believe him. Even if he tells you he's black, he's probably lying. We can never believe police, especially the CPD over Jussie Smollett, who, by the way, has a terrible name. His parents couldn't decide between Justin or Jesse, and they compromised. Anyways, where was I? A black man who has been courageously present. Been courageous. Now, I love how, like, we assign the word courageous to way too many things, but now just being present. You are so courageous. Did you see how present he was? That is so courageous of him. Usually I'm off somewhere in my mind, but he was so present. Courageously present. Visible. Yeah, visible as a dumbass, Black Lives Matter. And vocal in the struggle for black freedom. Like, give me a break, dude. Like, seriously. Like, I'm sorry. I just... Now, after Jussie's been found guilty, Black Lives Matter, LA leader, Melina Abdullah tells us that stance hasn't changed. Jussie has their full support. Abdullah says the organization refuses to abandon its people and stands on the principle that the justice system is corrupt. So was the justice system corrupt when they found Ahmaud Arbery's killers guilty? Or is it just when it's convenient for your narrative? Again, there is corruption, there is racism, all these things exist, but not blanketly. Not on everything all the time, Melina. And look, I said how stupid the white people that think JFK's coming back. An idiot's an idiot. I don't care if you're part of Black Lives Matter or, some white shit. There's plenty of idiots everywhere, regardless of color. And there's plenty of great people everywhere, regardless of color. So Black Lives Matter. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm all about the movement and the liberation of black people, but not when a black person like Jussie Smollett is so stupid and so obviously did something for his stupid little Hollywood career that was going fine. He was on a show Empire. Jussie is facing 3 years in prison. Imagine going to prison for something this asinine. He's got to pay like $130,000 to Chicago police officers. Think about how long this has been going on now. Even if he spends 3 years in prison, I feel like he's already served his time. I mean, he's a punchline for the rest of his existence. All right, I don't want to waste any more time on stupid Jussie Smollett And look, Black Lives Matter, again, I love the core principles of fighting for black people who have not received justice and highlighting important matters in the black community. But you are taking an L on this one, 2 L's actually, and a Smollett, because I'm sorry, but supporting this guy blanketly and saying all police are liars, you just sound stupid. You sound like you've become what you hate, which is somebody who's just blanketly prejudice against an entire thing, people. I guess his dream come true. Jussie, you're more famous than ever.